This is Empty the Bench with Tom Albano.
Even if all the legal issues clear up and the NFL gives him, whether it's a true game or a 10 game or a season-long game, Deshaun doesn't want to be in Houston anyway.
Nick Morgasen.
We talked about how basically they took the Sixers games off because of Daryl Morey. They're now taking the Celtics games off due to Enes Kanter. The NBA is going to have another China situation, and now we're having more sexual abuse claims. What is the NBA doing? What is Adam Silver doing?
And Nick Fodera.
And if you think this is not what Gary Bettman has been doing for years, what have you been looking at? Have you been paying attention? This is why hockey fans hate Gary Bettman.
Empty the Bench starts now.
We all end up in the warm embrace of Vince McMahon and his cheap suits.
Welcome to episode 109 of Empty the Bench.
Thank you, Vince.
What a maneuver!
Wait a minute.
WrestleMania!
Wait a minute. How expensive are his suits?
I don't want to know. They're probably lined with $100 bills.
Cost me thousands of dollars, damn it!
Oh God!
I would do the whole show with this voice, but I would kill my throat.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to episode 109 of Empty the Bench. Tom Albano here, along with Nick Morgasen and Nick Fodera. And gentlemen, we got a lot of baseball to talk about. We have a lot of NFL news surrounding one team. 3 stories surrounding one team in a week. Good going, Texans. We have week 8 picks, of course. The undefeated are no more, guys. The Cardinals fall to the Green Bay Packers, and AJ Green is basically proven why he is on my fantasy do not draft me list for years.
Well, let's be fair here for a second. The Cardinals have had a good run, and but I have to give credit to Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers not having their top 2 wide receiver options, one due to COVID, one due to injury, and I think Scantling was out also. That was the third guy that was out. So they somehow won with no weapons.
Mm-hmm. All right. But we have to start this week in terms of our story discussions over in the NHL. It's rare that we start in hockey, but this is not for a good reason. So, guys, let's talk about the Kyle Beach situation. So,
FBI, open up!
Well, it's something that you hope would happen, especially in the case of Brad Aldrich. But I did an ETB minute on this, and so did Tom, as a matter of fact. So where we leave this case off is the Chicago Blackhawks are embroiled in a scandal by saying that a former journeyman of theirs, Kyle Beach, on the 2010 Stanley Cup winning championship team, was sexually assaulted and harassed by then video coach Brad Aldrich, and he put out a lawsuit where he was initially listed as a John Doe, but then he came forward saying, "Yes, these things happened to me."
that was in a
And
TSN
now Joe
interview.
Quenneville has the coach back then has now resigned as the coach of the Florida Panthers.
Wait, I need to say one thing. First of all, that's unacceptable that he was coaching on the bench the other night.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So why is he on the bench? Why? And I think the Winnipeg Jets GM is also involved in this whole thing because he was the former GM.
I believe he is out as GM now as well.
Gee, you think? I mean, so and I need to ask this question. I said it in the promo. I'm going to say it now. Why do these situations get swept under the rug, and 10 years later we find out about these situations when the damage has already been done?
All right.
How is that different from how any other sports league deals with it?
All right, so Sporting News actually did a. I gotta give credit to Jackie Spiegel, who basically did a whole compilation of sorts, like one of those articles where like taken from everything, just to lay out exactly what happened. So we have Kyle Beach as the John Doe. We have the allegations. So the allegations are that. So the lawsuit was filed in May of this year, that apparently in May of 2010, the John Doe, who we know now as Kyle Beach, was he came across Mr. Aldrich in the midst of it sounds like a sexual act, and then made advances on him unwanted, and basically threatened to ruin his career if he did not take them. Now, where this comes in, about where you're asking about, where are all the other coaches at the time and such, what steps did they take? So this article actually has the layout of how were the Blackhawks informed and what steps they took. So, Mr. Beach apparently told Paul Vincent, the skating coach at the time, what had happened. There's another player who is informed, Al McLazic or Isaac, the senior director of hockey. The senior director of hockey administration, was informed, and that on one of the days, on May 23rd, a meeting was held with then President John McDonough, Al McLazic, General Manager Stan Bowman, who actually resigned after the press conference that the Blackhawks held, Jay Blanc, who was the EVP, Quenneville, mental skills coach Jim Gary, and assistant GM Kevin Cheveldayoff. And basically, it seemed like there was more concern about the on-ice product than there was about...
They were in the midst of a Stanley Cup run at that point.
Which they won, yeah.
Which they won. It wasn't their first Stanley Cup in like 40 or 50 years.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's since the 70s at least. And of course, but again, every time a story like this happens in one of the four major North American sports, this follows the script to a T. Something happens, something with somebody who's well connected with the team. The player affected or the party affected informs the team, and the team decides to sit there with their thumbs up their asses and do nothing about it.
Well, the other issue you had is that I think it was wrong place, wrong timing. Not saying it's acceptable, but because they were going after a Stanley Cup title, they swept it to the side, thinking they were never going to do anything.
We'll never have to deal with this. So.
Well,
yeah, we'll never have to deal with this. So who gives a shit?
There's another issue here. Apparently, he came out. He did his first bit of media, like talking to people, and he said that he apparently filed a lawsuit against the team, which he said the team shoved under the rug as well.
He did. I mentioned that in my minute.
Oh, I just said that their lawsuit was filed in May, wasn't it?
No, but but I heard apparently he went to do something back in 2010 and they ignored it.
Huh? I did not. I didn't
know that.
It doesn't matter. We're pulling straws at this point.
Not that it matters. We're splitting hairs at this point, but I mean, I at least got to say that Kyle Beach was incredibly brave. I mean, there is so much of a culture of, how should I put it? Because I don't want to, because the phrase toxic masculinity kind of gets it, but I'll just something like, there's a culture of machismo in the NHL, and you're not supposed to talk about it because, you're a hockey player. You're supposed to go out there and get hit in the face nightly.
No, come on. I mean, this would happen in any sport, the NBA, MLB, NFL, NHL. But
I think
you bring up a good point, but this would happen in a lot of sports.
Well, I'll say it's more. I think it's more of the fact that, again, they were in the midst of a championship run, and they said, "You know what? Everything's going great right now, so see no evil.
Let's not rock the boat."
In my opinion, I hope that when this lawsuit comes to be, if that's the case, I hope he wins everything he can possibly get against this Blackhawks team. I hope he does.
Well, now what, consequences are been going on. So the general manager at the time, who actually was still the general manager, Bowman, he resigned following the press conference, which was also, by the way, really unusual. So that internal investigation from the independent firm. So that was 100+ pages long. So they release it after the press conference, and after a press conference in which no questions were allowed to be asked.
Oh, that was the thing I was going to bring up that you just reminded me. So someone asked a question in the press conference, and they said, well, you can read the report after. Then why are you holding the press conference? The whole point of holding the press conference is that you're trying to get answers. And if you're going to hide...
He needed as many microphones as he could get in his face.
No.
He just wanted the microphones, not the reporters.
No, come on. We just had a whole situation with ESPN and the Suns owner where they tried to defraud an ESPN journalist. So
he didn't give a shit about the journalists. He didn't care.
No, but I'm saying we just went through an issue where the Suns ownership tried to defraud a journalist. So now are we defrauding journalism because they don't want to talk about a sexual assault allegation that happened in 2010? What is going on?
Because there's no accountability. There's no system of accountability. There wasn't then, and there really isn't really one now.
I don't know. So, I'm just severely frustrated that guys like you who really studied the game of journalism very hard to really do it well. And then you guys and gals are basically told, well, you can't report this and you can't do this because you're going to destroy my reputation. F the reputation. I could give two shits. Report the facts.
So we've also had in the immediate aftermath of this whole debate over Quenneville and Cheveldayoff. Did they know? Did they not know? And it seemed like the accusations were that they did know. Quenneville, again, as we noted, he was allowed to take the bench on, I think, Wednesday night for the game. However, in the time since then, he has resigned as the head coach of the Florida Panthers.
And I hold Gary Bettman responsible for that, by the way. He should have taken him off the bench right after this news came out.
Well, again, Bettman's always been the kind of person to not recognize the controversy until it's literally 10 inches from his face. And that unfortunately is the case here. Of course, we've never had something like this, something of, any kind of like sexual assault thing involving players and coaches in the NHL that I can at least recall off the top of my head.
And such a noteworthy team too. This was when the time when the Blackhawks were at their winning ways.
Yeah, and this has got to at least stain a lot of memories of that cup run.
Well, actually, there is a report that I forget the person's name, but somebody has actually officially requested to the NHL and to the Stanley Cup Trophy owners that Aldrich's name be removed from the
That's
cup.
Not going to happen. Have you ever seen that happen in any sport? It's never going to happen.
I didn't say it was going to happen, but it's out there.
Yes.
Wait, so then if that's the case, then the whole Astros team should be removed from the World Series that they won.
Cheating is one thing.
No.
Cheating is one thing.
No. We're talking about situations in general that affect a situation, period. Whether it's cheating, sexual assault, an owner that's a moron, like Donald Sterling with the Clippers. I'm saying it doesn't matter. If you do something stupid and moronic, you shouldn't win the title, is my point.
But it can come off as comparing an on the field and off the field, or in this case, an on the ice and off the ice issue. And
yeah, exactly.
This takes a hell of a lot more precedence.
And actually, I think this is worse than some of the Roger Goodell bullshit.
No shit. It's a
because
lot
yeah.
Wait, because Gary Bettman has been sitting on this for 10 years. 10 years.
And if you think that this is not a widespread issue, or at least this is not a thing that has come up with multiple NHL teams, I got a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you, because
but wait,
where there is smoke, there tends to be fire.
But what is Gary Bettman's initiative for holding on to this for 10 years? Does he think that it's just going to go away and eventually there's not going to be a lawsuit over it?
Yes, he did. Again, product takes precedence over
principle. Principle is what the word you're looking for.
Principle. Product takes precedence over principle. That's what it is.
I know I'm the least of the hockey fans in this room right now, but this is a problem. Why are we not doing something? Why didn't Gary Bettman make a statement when we had all the incidents in the NFL with the sexual assault and the abuse cases and the guns cases that all came out? Eventually, Roger Goodell came out and made a statement. Gary Bettman has said nothing.
Well, let me counteract with this. Why the hell did the Blackhawks not do something in the immediate Like even after they won the cup, why was this not handled immediately?
Because that would have destroyed the whole year in their case. That's why.
Again, product takes precedent over personal.
I'm not saying Bettman isn't at any degree of fault, but I'm saying that the Blackhawks are way more at fault. The
Blackhawks are way more at fault.
This could have.
I'll give you another example. Go ahead.
No, I said this could have been handled not just so much better. That's a no shit, but that this could have been handled so much quicker. And now it's a stain not only on the Blackhawks, it's a stain on the NHL, and a big one, even bigger than it had to be.
I'll give you two examples, and these are more for the widespread sport. When Pete Rose was finally caught for gambling, you realize how long that took to finally suspend him from the league? Because he was the all-time hits king, and he still is. I'll give you another one. Tim Donaghy in the NBA, when the point-shaving scandal, before gambling ever came across the world of sports, and now every sport is in bed with DraftKings and FanDuel and all the gambling, that whole investigation didn't finish for about 2 years. And why did they do that? Because they didn't want their bottom line being affected.
Product takes precedence over principle. The triple P.
All right. So now baseball. We should be talking about the World Series, and we will get to it in a second. However...
Wait, I have to give... All right, put it up, and then I'm going to do something.
Okay.
I have to give Tom credit. I'll give him his due.
Surprise, surprise! I told you this was going to happen.
Because our golden boy, Mr. Tom Albano, he called it. Take a bow.
Take a bow. And then we have to say bad things about Rob Manfred.
I mean, how would that be different from any other week on this show? But still.
But what are we? We're not surprised. We called this like at the beginning of the season. For the most part, we all called this.
He's been saying it since we podcasted.
I've been saying it podcasting. I've been saying it since we started podcasting, and I've been screaming it louder ever since the MLB and MLBPA went into their negotiations during the COVID pandemic, when they were the last ones to basically come to an agreement of sorts.
It's ridiculous, and you know what? It's all about the
money.
Now,
actually, there's another Vince McMahon line. It's all about the money.
But here's the thing. So we've been hearing these arguments. We've been talking about this since COVID, especially when all the sports were down. What's Major League Baseball going to do? They're having an argument. They can't get back on the field. Are we going to play 100 games? Are we going to play 60 games? Which eventually every MLB fan was pissed off because we only played 60 games. And then eventually we get to a place now where both sides are rabid babies who want their pacifiers because they have to cry over who they want first. And now we're going to have no baseball for a season.
All right. So let me fill in before you talk. Let me fill in on the details. Let me give our story credit. I have to give credit to the AP on this one. So
they were first. Yep.
Yeah, they were the first. So it appears to be almost certain. That is the words. Almost certain that baseball will have its 9th work stoppage and first in 26 years. That appears to start with the expiration of the CBA on December 1st at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. And negotiations have been taking place since last spring, and each side thinks the other has not made a proposal that will lead to an agreement. And a lot of this comes with the luxury tax system, and comes at a point right now where we have a lot of notable free agents in this upcoming free agency class, including Carlos Correa, Corey Seager, Trevor Story, Max Scherzer, Freddie Freeman, Marcus Semien, Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, Michael Conforto, and Kevin Gausman. So
there's so much to be had here. And unfortunately, because we're probably not going to see baseball for a year. And you know what? You know who's probably happy about this lockout? The Mets. Because the Mets don't have a GM. They don't have a manager. They don't have a team. We should find that YouTube video where that person made a joke about jobs for hire. I think it was back in like 2005, 2006.
There's a difference between the proctor giving you time and a half on a test and a proctor giving you double time on the test because the proctor is dead and the school is burned down.
But you know what? If we need to send baseball out in style.
Is it wrong for me to hope?
Yes,
So-
it is wrong for you to hope.
I mean, we know that the MLB and the MLBPA has had their differences, but maybe I'm just a cynical bastard. But it just seems to me like, I mean, did these seem like big issues, or are they just splitting hairs?
I mean,
Yes.
think about it. Think about it. We had Manfred himself. Not even the league or the players union. Manfred himself, who proposed that $100 million floor and $180 million cap, putting all 30 teams in a vacuum of sorts.
Well, because he's an idiot. I mean, these are things that happen when your brain is actually solid wood.
Well, I was just going to ask Nick if that sound effect with the crickets is that Rob Manfred's brain.
Yes, that is the sound of his two brain cells rubbing against.
Actually,
like
I got a better one.
Legs.
I know what Rob Manfred is thinking right now.
RELAX.
That's what he's thinking, even though he knows that he's about to destroy Major League Baseball. And we thought Major League Baseball was for old farts. Now no one's going to watch baseball.
And this one is going to hurt more than 94.
Yup, I agree. Think about this. Well, first of all, think about all the free agents that I said. So if there's a lockout and all those free agents aren't signed in November, we are going to have the slowdown like we saw in right before the 18th season and before the 19th season, probably even worse. The AP story hints we could see those last 2 weeks before the regular season, whenever the hell it would start, a scramble of sorts of all these guys getting signed.
And you remember how much fun that was?
The failure.
Yep. I mean, think and other issues, by the way, other issues that are coming up supposedly in the CBA. Well, first of all, we had the playoff system, which we seem to be agreement on. It's going to be certain with what the players union and the teams would want that it's going to expand again. It's going to expand to 14 or 16 teams.
Can we stop with the expand? Can we stop copying the NFL and the NBA? MLB has to copy everybody else. They can't be themselves.
So we have, but the other issues, the main issues that they're arguing over. So salary floor, salary cap, salary arbitration, and the concept that we've been seeing as of late of some teams in baseball actually embracing a tank. You talk about copying the NFL.
Okay, wait a minute. Timeout. There's no tanking in baseball. The draft in baseball does not mean the same that in the NBA and the NFL does.
Nick, you want to go tell the Detroit Tigers that?
Yeah, you want to tell the Tigers that?
Actually,
you want to tell the Marlins that?
Orioles?
You want to tell the other version of the Houston Astros that?
Or the Orioles?
Wait. I'm hearing a rumor that the Tigers are in the market to sign Carlos Correa to a major $300 million contract.
Yeah, they say that, and I'm in the market to buy a Porsche. It doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Okay, but let's say even if they do sign Carlos Correa, this is what, after 8 years of being in the toilet?
Yes.
I wouldn't say they've been in the toilet that long, have they?
Yes.
I will look it up right now.
They lost 120 games.
No, I'm not talking about the last couple of years. They've been terrible, but they did win World Series back in the day.
So they made the World Series in 2012.
The NBA thing.
So
you're thinking of tanking as in the NBA version of tanking, and it's not exactly that.
But you don't get anything out of the draft picks for MLB for 4 or 5 years. So you're not getting anything by tanking now.
They're long-term thinkers.
No. Are you really going to believe that theory? Are you really going to believe that theory? It's all about spending money. Baseball is about spending money.
No, the proof is in the pudding.
No, it's not.
Are you telling me they're not doing that on purpose?
They're not. First of all, why would you tank in baseball? Like I said, there's no immediate.
You only trip over your dick so many times before people start to wonder you're doing it on purpose.
And think about it. You still get a high pick. You still get those top guys, and the MLB draft with all of its revisions and everything, there's a lot more on the MLB draft now than there was back in the early 2010s.
Major League Baseball is all about spending. If the Tigers want to spend, then they'll be back at the top again. Okay,
Like you said, Nick, You say that, and meanwhile, us three are seeing a Yankees team who are so used to spending all the millions of dollars now.
The Yankees are delusional. They're
trying to be the Tampa Bay Rays.
I don't understand why. Yeah, that we're seeing the Yankees being nickeled and dimed, and you're saying tanking is not a thing.
And by the way, the AP story actually, the AP, they actually reached out to Cashman, and according to Cashman, he hasn't been given any parameters on what he's allowed to spend because we don't know what the hell's going on between MLB and the MLBPA.
So it's just joy all around, folks. It's just joy. We're all footloose and fancy free.
Honestly, if there's another lockout, I agree with Nick that it is going to hurt worse than 94. And I'll be honest with you, if there is a lockout, I'm going to take the words of a reporter. I think this was I saw this clip on a Watch Mojo or whatever, a Watch Mojo countdown where it was talking about the strike. I'm gonna go read Dante's Inferno because all the MLB can go to hell.
All I could say is that if we lose a year, you're probably going to lose 2, just because when you're out a year of baseball,
I don't. That's my. But my thing is, even if we only lose a certain amount, like even if we only lose a month or 2, this league can go to fucking hell. Think about it. If that happens, that is now 2 seasons of what will be the last 3 that we had the COVID shortened season.
Well,
I know COVID, but they could have gone back on that field a lot sooner.
Agreed, but I think COVID is a much different situation than being stupid during a strike.
But they were how much back and forth did we have to the point where we thought we weren't going to have a 2020 season?
They're totally acting like children. I agree with you. That the issue is that the 2 sides, Tony Clark, who should not be the head of the Players Association because he's caused all these arguments with Rob Manfred and the front office.
Rob Manfred and Tony Clark, neither one of them should have a job. Let's be real.
And you know what scares me? Rob Manfred's a lawyer. That's what scares me, too.
Well, Lionel Hutz was a lawyer, too.
No, but my point is the man's a lawyer. He can't figure out how to do a negotiation. And now the sport's going on strike, and we're not going to see it for a year. Bravo, everybody! Bravo!
Bravo! Hats off to you.
In the words of SpongeBob.
You king dumbasses.
In the words of SpongeBob, we're going on a strike. We're going on a strike.
I don't know what a strike means, but we're going on a strike.
Just ask the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh, yeah.
No, at this point, he'd be slowly backing away, going, "Oh no!"
Well, I guess at this point, since we can't talk about baseball, we're gonna have to do this every time we talk baseball.
No, don't play that yet. Oh, too late. But all right, let's give a little World Series update. So, guys, Charlie Morton. I think that's all I want to say.
I mean, getting 3 extra outs on a broken leg.
I mean, he's got balls the size of church bells, and now first of all, Charlie Morton, to me at least, was always, it was kind of mystifying that he was able to pitch as well as he has, even when he was with the Rays. It's like, he doesn't throw 98.
Actually, he was on the 2017 Astros, if you guys didn't know that.
Yep, I remember.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's like, I don't understand. Logic dictates that this person should not be that good, but somehow he is. And you know what? Shame on me. I'm the moron. I'm the moron in this situation because Charlie Morton has got balls of steel.
These are my respect by just doing that.
But you know what?
Again, context is necessary. So he took a comebacker off the leg, which fractured his leg, and then he continued to pitch on it.
And then he got 3 more outs.
He was willing to go back out. He was willing to go back out, even after that.
And he apologized to his teammates when they took him out.
Kurt Schilling and your bloody sock eat your heart out.
Exactly.
Well,
your heart out, Kurt Schilling.
But wait a minute, Kurt Schilling actually, what did he pitch? Like 7 innings, 8 innings in that game, though.
But did he break his leg?
No, but I'm just saying, like, he only lasted another 2-3 outs. I'll give him that. That's hard on a broken leg, no doubt. But I think the Braves are now at a disadvantage with him not being there.
But if I may editorialize a bit, as if I haven't been doing that in the entire episode, you moron. So, this series is not going to be easy. Atlanta definitely had the upper hand. At least, you were able to,
it was a strong
start out of your bullpen and take the first game when your starter left.
I
but
mean,
it's gonna take some time.
I mean, it was a strong start, getting 5 runs on the Astros in the first 3 innings of the World Series.
Who expected that in Houston?
Not me.
No, not me. No, not me. Although Travis d'Arnaud could always hit.
Wait,
I always thought so.
And who expected Correa, Jose Altuve, and Alex Bregman to go 0 for 12 in Game 1?
Again,
Nobody.
not me. But credit to the Astros. They answered back in Game 2 with a pretty big second inning. Actually, 5 runs in 2 innings. So one of them got 5 runs in 3 innings, and then the Astros answered back. So this should be a fun World Series.
Yeah, it should be a fun World Series, and I'm happy for Dusty that he was able to make it, because Dusty, like we said last week, Dusty Baker has always been a manager that you should put some respect on.
Absolutely. And again, think about it. He's an old school manager in a new school world, and he took on a team that was supposed to be, supposed to collapse, was supposed to, they had all the bad reputation involved, and now he not only took them to the playoffs last year during the shortened season. I know that's not much of an accomplishment, but now this year took them back to the World Series. Like that is
a baseball movie waiting to happen. All you need is Kevin Costner somehow.
Well, now that you said it might happen. But what I was going to say is that, and I've said this many times, I'm going to stew on the Astros forever, because again, obviously we're all Yankee fans, and we're going to stew on the Astros.
We're all still kind of bitter about that.
But guys, if I'm Dusty Baker and the Astros win this World Series, even if I got offered another job elsewhere, I'm not taking it. That should be your Peyton Manning or whatever. You go out on top of that.
Yeah, that would be the case. But you know what? To be honest with you, it could go either way at this point. The series could go either way.
Do we feel, though, that because Dusty Baker's had really bad luck, like that somehow the Braves...
I know, that's the thing. I'm waiting for the shoe to drop, because it happened with the Giants.
I'm waiting for karma to hit him over the head like a sledgehammer.
It's not so much about karma. It happened in 2002 with the Giants, where they lost to the Angels.
The Cubs.
He was the manager of the 2003 Cubs when the Steve Bartman thing happened. It's like I'm waiting for that other shoe to fall.
It's like that joke Nick made in the last episode, the anvil, like watching and seeing if the anvil is going to hit him in the head.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, how much into roller derby are you guys?
I know it's a thing that is done.
I know it's done, but
so it was a very 80s thing. But there is this team that was founded in 2013 in Cleveland. Do you guys know what the name of it was?
Here, wait. I think I need some time to think about it. Okay, what is it?
The Cleveland Guardians. Now, if that name sounds familiar to you guys, that is going to be the name that the Now Indians are going to be using starting in 2022. Well, this roller derby team has said, you know what, screw you. We're going to make sure you can't, and is now suing the team.
Money!
So obviously, the logic part of my brain is dictating that these guys are going to get crushed in court, because it's the MLB. The MLB has money to crush pretty much anybody underfoot. But is it wrong that there's a part of me that at least wants them to win, so the Indians will then change their name to the Spiders, like they originally were at the turn of the 20th century?
I don't really know. I don't really know
what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen if they're not allowed to use this name, right?
Oh, wait a minute. I think they're going to go back to the Cleveland Indians.
No. Gentlemen,
Cleveland baseball team. Exactly,
the CBT.
No! No!
Which, depending on who you are or what you do for a living, CBT could have many, many, many different meanings. I will not elaborate that further.
Oh, come on!
I will not elaborate on that further. No further questions.
Nick,
why not?
Nick, this is not beyond the bench.
There could be children listening.
Oh, man.
Barbarian?
What?
Are you a barbarian?
Come on. Come on.
God damn it.
God damn it.
Come on. Ric Flair wants to hear it.
No. I'm sorry, Rick, but there are just certain things that I should not talk about.
Hey, that's a lot, considering the fact that Ric Flair has done everything on this earth.
Thank you for that mental image. Ow! Get it! Go quick! Go to the next topic. Get it on! Get it on my head! Get it on my head! Stop it!
We go from one old person to another old person. So Padres have a new manager, and it's Bob Melvin. I didn't have that on my bingo card.
I did not have that on my bingo card, especially considering that Bob Melvin has seemingly been managing the A's for 500 years. And it seems to me like the A's are always the, hey, they could be contending, and then they just,
and then the playoffs actually happen.
Yeah, then the playoffs happen, and they're nowhere to be found. They're like they're the myth of baseball. They are. They're the myth.
Well, I heard it was a certain type of situation, and I thought I heard this from Bob Melvin on the way out.
Get the out of here.
Because I heard a report that Bob Melvin was unhappy in Oakland, and that's why he left.
Because it's basically the equivalent of baseball purgatory.
Because
you're going to have great regular season records, but then somehow you could not make the playoffs at all.
I got one, Tom. The Oakland Athletics are the Houston Rockets.
Okay, I wasn't going to go that
Good point.
I wasn't going to go that route. I was going to go
because they win, and people excuse me as I choke over that, as they keep winning and winning and winning and winning. They have all these great players, but they never make it to the promised land.
Guys,
it's the Houston Rockets.
Guys, so there's the Astros, there's the Braves, then there's 50 feet of crap, and then there's the A's.
In terms of playoff hierarchy, yeah. I'd say
did you guys not get that?
Yes.
That's Moneyball.
It's Moneyball.
At a certain point, it's like, I mean, he's a good manager, but the Padres just kind of swung in the opposite direction because they had the young hotness, then they had old as dirt.
But I was going to say one thing: the Padres, even though they're the hot team and everyone thinks they're the pretty girl and everyone wants to go after her, like, they didn't win. They didn't come across the finish line.
No, not only did they not win, they ethically collapsed to the point we saw Tatis Jr. and Machado arguing in the dugout.
Larry Rothschild, who we know that name all too well as Yankee fans, got fired as the pitching coach because the team could not pitch.
The team could not pitch because the team was injured, and I'm not blaming Larry for that.
Well, now, I have a question for you guys. I have a question. Can these Padres get on base?
Is that more of a rhetorical question, like a Zen riddle? Like, what is the sound of one hand clapping? Can the Padres actually get on base? Is there an afterlife? How many fingers am I holding up? Is that kind of question?
Wait, are you asking if the Padres are actually going to make it further this year? Is that what you're asking?
No, I'm asking you if they can get on base.
It's a good point.
All right. Let's talk before we get into our NFL picks. We have a trifecta of stories about our second favorite Houston team. Actually, no, wait, we mentioned the Rockets. Our third favorite Houston team, the Texans. Let's start with the quarterback. Well, the should-be quarterback who is embroiled in a legal battle, and even if he wasn't, doesn't want to be in Houston anyway.
So apparently they've got this deal locked and loaded, the Dolphins and the Texans do, and they're waiting for the other shoe to drop in terms of his legal issues. His legal issues being, of course, context is necessary, the legal issues being the sexual assault allegations, the numerous sexual assault allegations against him. And I mean, I would say wait, but then I would also have to have pigs flying out of my ass. So, I mean,
so it's kind of like what I told you guys last week. Oh yes,
hey,
that's
he
right.
already blocked you.
You're blocked. The show account is blocked by Deshaun Watson.
You know what? Deshaun Watson, I can't say that word. That's too inappropriate. As you said, kids are watching, is a P word. There, I said it.
Oof.
I said it. Yeah. Clip that out. Put that on NFL Network. Put that on the NFL Twitter. Make it news.
Wait, why are you saying Deshaun Watson is a Pringle?
Oh, well, I wasn't saying that. I was thinking of something of the more derogatory variety. But
what did Mr. Papadopoulos ever do to you?
What did poop do for you?
What does popcorn do for you?
You big Deshaun Watson is a pee-pee head.
All right. So the NFL. Do you guys remember what I told you last week? Well, it's happened. The NFL says they are not going to put him on the commissioner's list yet because there is no legal ruling as to what the heck is going on with his legal issues, and so the Dolphins want an answer before they do this trade. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, as I said last week, it is one big NFL blinking contest. Who is going to pull their trigger first?
And that's the question. He is still a massive improvement over the quarterback play that they've got so far.
Well, let me ask you. Okay, if we're going to go in that direction, let me ask you, Nick. I think I might have asked this last week, but Deshaun, if he is traded to Miami, does that mean Tua has to be part of the deal going to Houston?
I would reckon he would be, because I would imagine Houston would not want to trade him away without having at least something they could work off.
I mean, unless they're happy with Davis Mills as their quarterback,
you have no choice.
I can't imagine they are.
You have no choice. That's the only way to even out the trade value. You're going to have to trade a quarterback for quarterback, but the report is that 3 first-round picks have to go back the other way. That's the only way they're going to have the discussions for the trade.
But at a certain point, I mean, it's how much is a slightly used Tua Tagovailoa, worth to you?
Well, here's the thing about Deshaun. So since he's not going to be on the commissioner's list, if this trade goes through, technically that means he'll be allowed to play. But that's the thing with the Dolphins. Is it going to be like, oh, he's going to get traded, and then the next day the settlement's going to come, and then the day after that the punishment's going to be handed down? It's like, why the hell did we even do this trade then?
Because he's just waiting. Because Roger Goodell's just waiting there in the darkness with 2 checks.
I mean, that's pretty much the story. I mean,
and I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I'll be honest. I don't know if this Dolphins team, like Deshaun, is going to be an improvement, but I think it's still going to be a far cry from what he had in Houston. Because let's be real, guys. As much as we crap on Deshaun, we say maybe he should be allowed to play in the NFL again or such. It's not Deshaun's fault that Houston went into the toilet as quick as it did. That was started right before
No. That was just what happened with Deshaun was just gasoline on the tire fire.
No, he's in the toilet.
And you know who's with him? You know who's with him even further down in that drain? The man who started all this technically. B.O.B. Because congratulations. I hope you're happy trading that DeAndre Hopkins trade. Now that he's doing so goddamn well with Kyler Murray over in Arizona.
Well, and J.J. Watt, who unfortunately got hurt and is out for the rest of the season. I mean...
Congratulations.
Yeah. This is my shocked face.
Congratulations, Bill O'Brien. That trade cost him his job.
Yeah, I mean it's curtains for Bill O'Brien.
He probably sees Hopkins in his nightmare.
Wait a minute. Doesn't he work in college football now?
I think he's a college football coach again, if I'm not mistaken. I'm looking that
up. Oh, that's right. He's the offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach at Alabama now. Of course he went with Nick Saban.
Oh, of course.
Well, that's the coaching tree, duh.
It's the life cycle of every NFL coach.
Well, I'll give you the 3 coaching trees. So you have Nick Saban, you have Greg Popovich, and you have Bill Belichick. If you come off that coaching tree, you will find a job one way or the other at some point, even if you completely sucked ass somewhere else.
All right. So there's a second part. So part 2 of this Houston Texans week of craziness. So Mark Ingram, who was the second running back on the depth chart, has been traded. He is back with the New Orleans Saints, and even though I'm a Giants fan, I'm a very happy man. I loved Boom and Zoom, Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram combo, and now that is back in New Orleans, and New Orleans needed that.
There's an update to this story as well, that Mark Ingram actually signed a 1-year extension to remain in with the Saints through 2022. Also.
Good. So Brandin Cooks, who is the main wide receiver right now over in Houston after all of the madness of the last couple of years, well, he was very unhappy with the trade, and he boys tweeted this out. If I could pull this up. He tweeted this out of a little while after the Mark Ingram trade dropped.
So this comes from a guy who's completely failed in his career.
You talking about the two guys commenting below him?
What do you mean? No, I'm talking about Brandin Cooks. Brandin Cooks has no reason to talk about anything considering he's won nothing.
I'll file that under D for duh. Of course he's upset.
But I was going to say, so he hasn't done anything, but I mean, he's still a young receiver that you could honestly build. He could be one weapon, but think about it. This is the Houston Texans. What weapons do they have? So David Johnson, Phillip Lindsay, Davis Mills again.
Again, you can't friggin' tell me that you as a Beleaguer Jets fan and me and Tom as Beleaguer Giants fans would not snap him up in a heartbeat.
I would.
No, I like him, but I'm saying Brandin Cooks is being a crybaby.
Oh, and then
a crybaby that can still catch a ball. That's what you need.
Oh, and then, by the way, there was one last thing here with this Texans team. Because, of course, we can't go a show, it seems, without somebody throwing a slur out.
I mean, can we go one episode without having to deal with a sexual assault allegation, a race issue?
Nick, can you please play the cuckoo sound effect again?
I mean,
I was going to go one better.
Look at all the failure.
I would definitely say that this is not surprising in the least. I mean, I would like to think that an anti-Asian slur is the least horrible thing he said.
To be specific, it was a golf outing that they didn't have the year before, and he used the term China virus.
Hey.
So Nick, I like that expression, but look at all the failure, because that just perfectly sums up the Houston Texans.
No, I have one complete thing to sum up the Houston Texans.
It's like a guy on fire laughing at a guy who got his head crapped on by a pigeon.
Oh, jeez. Whoa.
Well, we do live in New York where pigeons.
Hey, that's good luck. That's supposed to be good luck.
I know it's supposed to be good luck.
Well, it's bad luck at the time, but it's supposed to be good luck in the future.
All right. Speaking of good luck to us this week as we make our Week 8 picks. Time for the rapid rundown before we go here.
This was so bad. And can I rant for a minute on how the Jets had the worst loss in the history of losses?
You lost to Mac Jones. Congratulations.
No, you lost giving up 54 points
to Mac Jones.
That is some college football shit right there. That is NCAA 2K8 numbers.
And you know what? Robert Saleh could go back on the train that he came in on, because I'm getting tired. Like, he went on the Michael Kay show. Most people don't know that's here in New York, and basically said that, oh, I thought we looked good on offense. Our strategy was working. Really? Your strategy was working? You gave up 54 points and you scored 13. And Zach Wilson is out 2 to 4 weeks with an MCL strain.
To which I look at you as a Giants fan, I look at you and go, really?
To be honest, we did beat the Panthers last week.
Yeah, what are you complaining about?
No. So in this case, now that we do have 2 wins while he has 1, I look at you and I go, ha 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 ha.
Yeah, but that boomerang of shame is gonna hit us in the face too.
Oh, I'm very certain it's gonna come back to us. It's probably gonna come back to us this week. We'll get into why in a second, but let's go through our games. So let's go through our games this week. So we start things off with a double-digit line already. The Bills as a 13.5-point favorite against the Miami Dolphins.
Now, it could change between now and tomorrow, but whoo boy. I'll take the Bills, but I don't know if I'm going to take that line.
It's divisional. For some reason, divisional games sometimes just end up, unless it's
closer. Usually.
Unless it's Patriots Jets.
Then it ends up being a 20 or 30 point line. Oh, Jesus.
I'm not going to take that line, but I'm going to go with the Bills.
It's a divisional game. Divisional games are usually closer. The Bills are going to win, whether it's by 2 or by 10.
I think it'll be by 10. All right.
Pretty much. Take the money.
Yes, take Panthers and Falcons. The Falcons are a -3 favorite. Honest to God, the Panthers just look like utter crap without Christian McCaffrey. Sam Darnold has crashed back to earth. I think Falcons, they're home. Matt Ryan can throw. Kyle Pitts is looking phenomenal. I told you he was going to be great. Take the money.
I'll take the money as well.
Take the money!
Speaking of divisional, this one should be fun. The Steelers and the Browns and the dog pound, and the Browns are a 3.5-point favorite.
So the Steelers usually play down to their competition. But the Browns are, are they somewhat good?
Nah, they're mixed. They're a mix, but they've pulled out wins this year. And I'm sorry, Ben Roethlisberger, really the only guy who's been really doing a lot of offense consistently on a consistent basis for the Steelers is Najee Harris. Ben Roethlisberger has lost a step, and that's an understatement.
What about Baker, by the way? Does the shoulder injury bother you at all?
Yeah, I guess it does.
Yeah.
But at least he got Jarvis Landry back.
Right, but I'm saying Baker can't really throw the football right now.
Yeah, but my question is Ben Roethlisberger and Najee Harris and company, are they going to be able to get past the Browns
Trust me,
defense?
I hate Big Ben. I'm the biggest proponent against Big Ben. And also, they're dealing with an issue where a certain former quarterback with a USC situation might have pissed off Mike Tomlin over the last couple of days. I don't know if you guys saw that news break on the Dan Patrick show.
So, well, now my question to you, are they going to be able to get past? The Browns defense is still a tough defense.
So I'm still gonna pick the money here.
I'm going to take the money too.
Just checking the line again, just to make sure it's okay. I'm gonna take the money.
I will too.
I'm going to take the upset. I don't like the way Baker's been playing lately, and I think the Steelers are going to come in and bring a rude awakening for a change.
All right, I'll give you that. I can see it, but I'm just going to go with the home team route, take the safe route. Let's go back to the double digits here. J-O-K-E. Joke.
J-E-S-T. Just.
Yeah, this is going to be a walloping. And you know what? I'm going to take the line. I'm going to take the line, a double-digit line for a road team.
Ooh, somebody's feeling bold.
Joe Burrow is going to throw bombs to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and it's going to be fun. I think even Joe Mixon will get a touchdown in this one and run 100 yards.
I'm surprised if Joe Burrow doesn't just hand it off to the popcorn guy and he'll get a touchdown. I'll take the Bengals, but I'm not taking that line. I'll give him that. I don't think I'll take that line.
Is 11 bajillion a number?
No,
I don't think so.
Oh, well, okay. I'm going to take them, and they're going to win by more than that line. Take the money. Take the money. Take the money times a million.
Because it's the Jets. Hey, if you see green on the field,
if you see green, it's not the Jets.
If you see green, that's the money you're going to get from betting against the Jets.
Oh, man.
All right. Titans Colts. This one's a much closer matchup than I would think. The Titans only at 1.5.
So
I think that's
what I'm thinking. I'm going to pick the Titans, but I'm going to say that line should be higher.
Yeah, I think that line, for as much as the Colts, like they beat the 49ers and whatnot, I think that line is an insult to one Derrick Henry, who was proven to be probably the best running back this year. Better than Cook, better than Kamara, a lot better than Barkley. McCaffrey, I think he would be better than Henry, but McCaffrey's hurt again. So Derrick Henry is the number one RB this year.
King Henry is number one, and McCaffrey is the jester. So Henry is the number one running back. I would have even said that even if McCaffrey was not hurt. So I will take the Titans, and I think this is an unfair line. Whoever's in Vegas was drunk. So I'm going to take the Titans, and this is easy money. Take the money.
Take the easy money. All right. Eagles and the Lions. Do I have to pick a winner for this game?
I think I'm still gonna take the Eagles at the line because it's the Lions, for God's sake.
Yeah, I think right now you just take whatever team is playing the Lions until the Lions actually get a win this season.
Wait, is this the only team that's undefeated?
The Lions still have an O in their record, and it's not in the second column.
No.
Hey, they're undefeated if you look in a mirror.
Yeah, exactly. Ugh. As much as I hate the Eagles and Jalen Hurts has not looked 100% by any means.
Well, we have hints now that Gardner Minshew mania might be coming to Philadelphia as the QB1.
That's right, because the Jets traded a 6th-round conditional pick to get Joe Flacco back.
Oh, that's right, because Wilson's out. Your quarterback's
I said that already. Where have you been?
The all-elite Joe Flacco.
Where have you been? I said that like 10 minutes ago.
I forgot.
I'm kidding. But yeah, the Eagles are going to win, but somehow it's going to come down to some ridiculous fumble play, or you know what? Better yet, it's going to be like the Cardinals-Packers game where the receiver completely the Cardinals receiver effed up and didn't turn around and catch AJ Green didn't turn around and catch the football.
Now you know why he hasn't been on my fantasy. He's been on my fantasy do not draft list for a number of years now.
That's pathetic.
But it was so terrible. And no, I actually think you know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be like the Giants game from a few years back. It's gonna be the Eagles win at the last second on a 60-something yard field goal by Jake Elliott.
I mean, it sounds about right. Isn't that how the Jaguars got their first win in London on a long field goal attempt?
Yep.
Take the money.
49ers and the Bears. So I know the 49ers played poorly against the Colts, but I mean the Bears. Gentlemen,
the Bears just look terrible.
Wait, there's one piece of news here. Okay. Matt Nagy has tested positive for COVID-19.
You think that's going to make anything better?
Yeah, you think that's actually going to improve the product?
No, I'm not saying it improves.
COVID, yeah.
I'm not saying it improves. I'm just saying it's a big part of the equation.
Well, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, my fellow fantasy person, Nick Morgasen. I have actually given up on Allen Robinson and have in a 8-team league, a short 8-team, I have dropped him. I have given up. He can do so much more.
Come on, you're the biggest Allen Robinson supporter there is.
Wow, it's the end of an era.
He's got to get traded. He's got to get traded for him to be useful. Is that a trade?
No.
Darn. I still give up on Allen Robinson. It's going to be the 49ers.
You know what?
The Niners.
That was Matt Nagy telling me not to talk about his COVID diagnosis.
Okay.
He's logging on to AOL Instant Messenger.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
So you've got mail, and that mail says to take the money.
Oh yeah, that's right. Where am I? I'm being distracted by Matt Nagy text messages.
Okay. So 11 bajillion isn't a number, and I think that should be the number for this line. The Rams and the Texans.
Okay, so I think I'm going to take that line for once.
I actually think I will take that line as well.
I mean, we've seen this before where the Texans completely destroyed a line. And didn't they end up winning a game in this type of fashion earlier in the season?
Maybe.
They might have.
I thought they did. I can't remember if they upset in the game.
You know what they say about blind squirrels and broken clocks?
They're right twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a big line. Wow. No. The Rams are going to win, but then that's a lot of points. That's 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
I know. I'll still take it.
No, I'll say they're going to win, but
okay.
I think they'll win by 14 or a little less.
So let's talk about this one. This is interesting. The Jaguars and the Seahawks. The Seahawks have just not looked the same with Geno Smith and a quarterback with Russell Hurt. But would I bet against them and against with a team like the Jaguars?
No. I still think Geno can pull that out. It's the Jaguars, for God's sake.
And plus it's the home of the 12th man. They're in Seattle.
Is it momentum, though, since they won a game in London?
I know.
Momentum only carries you so far. Momentum will get you there, but it's not going to stop you from hitting the brick wall.
I mean, we got to make one technicality, though. They didn't win in the U.S. They won in London. So there's no momentum in the U.S. We'll put it that way.
There's a conversion rate for momentum.
Right, exactly. So take the money.
Take the money. Take the money. And then if the Jaguars win, maybe the U.S. will start using the metric system.
Oh, God.
That's good. Just be
Yeah,
careful. That might get used on you next week.
The Patriots,
I've got 7.5 liters of jokes worth to go.
the Patriots and the Chargers. Justin Herbert back off the bye. And man, for the sake of a couple of my fantasy teams, I hope Justin Herbert gets a big rebound this week.
So
Especially a man who can run like him at 35 kilometers an hour.
And there it is.
So I'm just going to take the money. I'm going to take 5.5 pounds. So so that's what I'm going to do.
Oh,
I'm using the metric system from now on. If you don't realize.
did you do the conversion on that? Here, wait. I'll give you some time to figure that out.
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But is there any momentum from the Patriots scoring 54 points last week, or is that just a farce?
I mean, they played the Jets.
It's the Jets. You grade them on a curve.
But wait a minute. Okay, that's true. But 54 points. 54 points is a lot, regardless.
I mean, yeah, he's not going to be able to do that. But I'm still taking the Chargers.
I'm taking the Chargers as in the favorite. I said it. I deserve credit to say Justin Herbert's going to be a top 5 MVP vote.
I believed you, and I agreed with you. So I say, in this case, TTM. Take the money.
Take the money.
Take the money.
Buccaneers and the Saints. The Bucs at a -5. Yeah.
They're gonna get crushed.
Yeah, they're gonna. I love Kamara. I love that Boom and Zoom is back, but
It's Tom Brady.
Even with the Saints winning, did they play on? They played on Monday night. That was Monday night, right? They beat the Seahawks.
Yes.
Okay, even then, I'm not a Jameis Winston fan. So I'm going to say Brady and the Bucs all day.
Can we give credit to Jameis Winston considering the situation he was put into?
Yes.
Because, I mean, he got crushed a few games afterwards, but we have to give him credit.
He started strong, and then famous Jameis's turnover shop opened back up.
Well, maybe it'll help having Mark Ingram back in the room.
Hopefully.
But, yeah, we're talking about Tom Brady and the Bucs. Come on. Cover. Take the money.
Take the money. Okay, Washington and Denver. In Denver, in Mile High.
I think I'm going to take the Broncos.
I think I'm going to take the money here.
Take the money.
Sunday Night Football. It's the Vikings in Minnesota hosting the Dallas Cowboys with Dallas as a -2.5 favorite.
For the love of God, Kirk, win this game. I'm taking the upset.
Whoa! I'm going to take the Cowboys. I am praying I am wrong. I am praying I am wrong.
There's no way in effing hell that the Vikings are going to win this game. No way. The Cowboys have been one of the top offensive performers so far this year in the league, and their defense has actually been towards the top as well. You really trust Kirk Cousins to get out of the pocket?
No, but I have hope.
Nick, now, if the Vikings do win, you know I have to take that line. There's no way in hell and just put it on an endless loop.
Sounds about right. You know what, though? You would think, because I'm the one who puts the intros together every week, I don't really put myself at the end of these intros at all. I'm pretty good about that. Except for the one last week. I usually don't put myself at the end of these intros. I leave that to Nick to say stupid things.
I'm very rarely at the end. I'm very rarely in the intros.
Well, if you said something stupid, I would put it at the end. Take the money!
That's the thing. I don't say anything stupid or anything funny on this show.
That's not true.
That's not true at all.
All right, Monday Night Football. Yeah. Hey, Well, here's the thing. If the Chiefs somehow lose this game...
Yeah, that's a problem.
Well, wait a minute. I need to say one thing. I did say something to you, Tom, that I thought there was a possibility of this game being closer than it should be.
I think, and honestly, I think you're right. I don't think. Here's the thing. I'm going to take the Chiefs, but I think the Chiefs have been playing so poorly. I'm not going to take that line.
I'm not going to take that line either. If they win this game, if the Giants win this game, it's like getting mugged by a toddler.
If the Giants win this game, that means the Chiefs are not making the playoffs.
Let's be careful with that statement. But I would say that this. I said this to you early on that I thought this line was big to begin with. So,
and if the Chiefs lose this game, I think we got to have 1,000 questions about Patrick Mahomes.
I don't even know I don't think this is 100% a Patrick Mahomes issue. I think this is actually an offensive line issue. Ironically, playing a team that has no offensive line.
And they're playing
what happens when a stoppable force meets a movable object?
And you know what? You can apply that to the defense too. It's Swiss cheese versus Swiss cheese.
I mean, the only thing that's saving the Chiefs is that obviously Patrick Mahomes, Daniel Jones. Yeah, that's like taking a Ferrari and a Yugo. Yeah. So don't take the money, but definitely take the win.
And we had one more. We got Thursday Night Football for Week 9. Oh, hey, look who it is.
Jest. Just.
J-O-K-E. Joke.
Who's the idiot that decided to put them on a primetime game?
And who is the idiot that booked this horrific matchup?
Wait a minute. So the Jets have already been on Monday Night Football, and now they're on Thursday Night Football? Wait a minute.
They have the ability to win this game, I'll tell you that.
I'll say that this matchup is closer. For sure, this matchup is closer.
But you know what? I'll still take the Colts.
I'm still going to take the Colts, yeah.
I mean, we don't know the line, so I can't really say. I'm assuming that the Colts are going to be the favorite, so I'll do it anyway. Take the money!
We don't know what the line is. It could be ridiculous, and you end up losing for all you know, but take the money.
Take the money.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Empty the Bench. If you're watching us on YouTube, remember, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and when you subscribe, ring that bell.
Ring the bell!
Ring it 3 times and Vince McMahon will appear behind you.
Wait.
Surprise!
Ring it 10 times and we'll have a Dana White versus Vince McMahon fight.
Oh my God, I would pay money to see
Wait
that.
a minute, guys. We were just talking earlier. About the MLB Lockout. MLB can go in hell. Guys, XLB. XLB.
How about XL over? XL over. But before we go, make sure we make our announcements as well. A couple shows have already started as well.
Which is why it's important for you to subscribe and ring the bell.
So Living Life has started. It's on our channel. The first episode already has 55 views in a couple of days. It was a episode called Sweets, Treats, and Eats. And yes, I'm going to get made fun of, but I'm going to say it anyway. It was with my father, Howie Morgasen. All about cooking.
You did a great job, by the way.
Yeah, making a phenomenal episode.
Making Halloween chocolates. Making s'mores. Making Halloween dips. Making pretzels. Making graham crackers. I'm making everybody.
Resident lifestyle expert, our Martha Stewart.
Let's put it this way: I'm making everybody hungry right now, aren't I?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then maybe I should just stop. But we have other stuff. There's 2 other shows that are going to be part of that show as well. Bases and Breakdowns, first episode with Connor Callio, who's been a friend of mine for a long time. Will be on November 4th. It's all about baseball. Oh no, and music. So make sure you tune into that.
Connor, some advice: you may have to focus on music a lot more soon.
You may end up ranking Andy Gibb albums.
Hey, I'm down with that. How deep is your love? Okay, I'm aging myself right now. But yes, we'll have those shows. We have a bunch of other shows. We also have Here Now the News, like I said, a bunch of other interesting things down the pike.
Jerry had Bob Eubanks on you recently.
Yes, Jerry had Bob Eubanks, and I heard there's some more interesting people coming down the road. So
sounds fun.
Ooh,
so
teaser.
make sure to subscribe, and you'll be the first to know when all these new shows come out. But until then, next week with episode 110, Nick Morgasen and Nick Fodera, I'm Tom Albano. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.